What up, though? It's your boy Willie Styles. I'm in the building. I think I'm in the building alone right now tonight. So thank you for joining. I'm sure my co-hosts will be joining soon. You're now watching GFT Radio Show on Facebook Live and on YouTube Live simulcast. So thank you for joining. Hopefully you all are home safe and or if you're not, hopefully you're safe wherever you are. And it looks like Smooth is in the building.
What's going on, big? What's going on? What's going on?
Oh, not much. I'm just introducing the show. Got a little background over there. But you want to go ahead and say hi?
What's going on, good people? You already know it's your boy Smooth. You know what I mean? Just here, checking in on quarantine and chill. I ain't gonna be able to chill with y'all too much tonight, but I got y'all.
For sure. All right, so we're in the building. I'm sure Sonny will join eventually. I was just introducing the show. Definitely check us out every Monday at 10 p.m. for our normal weekly show. Focus topic usually only runs about 90 minutes. 45 to 60 minutes on the topic, and then we always do our after show. So this right here is like the after show extended edition because we are going to talk about a little bit of anything and everything. We're going to have some serious topics. We're going to have some fun, whatever it is. And as always, definitely, if you have any comments,
I'm looking rough.
Oh, that's all right, bro. We all looking rough in our own way. It's in quarantine still.
Yeah,
we still haven't opened up the salons or the barber shops or nothing. So, it's like we got to do what we got to do. So, no doubt. As always, you can catch all of our replays on demand 24/7, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, Google Play Music, Facebook, YouTube, Apple, iTunes, Podcast, SoundCloud, and Blog Talk Radio. So definitely check us out on those venues and get our merchandise. I got on my shirt tonight. The thing is,
I ain't got nothing on that.
No, okay, no doubt. Sometimes we got laundry, right? But y'all can get your own GFT Radio Show shirts with our popular sayings and our messages, and we have them on shirts, t-shirts, hoodies, sweatshirts, pillows, mugs, a little bit of everything, even kids apparel. teespring.com/stores/GFT Radio. Support us while we support you. And finally, get at us on the web. We're at gftradioshow.com or on your favorite social media sites, GFT_radio on Twitter and Instagram, or GFT Radio on Facebook. We are all in the building. What's up, Sonny?
Hey.
Say hello to the people.
Yeah, don't listen. Hi, guys. I'm just gathering myself, but hey, everybody.
No doubt. I feel you.
It's been an interesting day.
I wanna address something before we get into anything.
Okay.
Oh man, I want to address what's going on in the city. I know we want to get to talking about what's going on with the case, the protesting, and all that. But I want to touch upon what's going on in Trenton right now. Like, the violence is getting out of hand. You feel me? A little 12-year-old girl got shot yesterday. You know what I mean? Along with 2 other gentlemen. You feel me? It is ridiculous. It is ridiculous. We really need to calm down. Really need to get it together. I don't know what's going on. You feel me? We was just dealing with the riots in the city, but even before the riots came, the violence has spiked. People killing each other, and you know what I mean? I just wanted to say that speak my piece on it at least. Now I mean, address it in some way. You feel me? Because we now I mean, we gotta we're in a situation now where we're trying to uplift each other, uplift our community. You know what I mean? But at the same time, you feel me? We still dealing with the inner strife within the community, and we got to fix that too. If we want to move forward and have change, now I mean, we have to fix what we can. We have to, now I mean, we can fix that in our own communities. We can stop the violence. We don't have to keep killing each other.
Right, no doubt.
That's all I had to say, man. I didn't want to get too deep.
Oh no worries, bro. Yeah, I mean, I think that's the thing is that I'm gonna bring up a video later that I watched, and I heard kind of that argument about internal issues and struggles that we have in the Black community, and even when we're trying to come together, we're still gonna have idiots, right? We're still gonna have people who don't have our best interests in mind, just like your shirt says. All skin folk and kinfolk. We're not all on the same page. We're not all doing the same things. We're not all in the same situations. So you're going to see a lot of that. Disheartening news and disheartening things going on where people are just wild, out of control, not caring about other human beings. I mean, we have a piece of crap, and we have a person in office that in the presidential office that's doesn't care about human beings. So what do we expect from people around the country, right? Not everybody's going to have human decency in their heart. So it's an unfortunate side effect of being human. It's an unfortunate side effect of living in certain areas, certain disenfranchised areas, that people just can't get it together. But the vast majority of us want better. The vast majority of us want peace. We want, we want a peace of mind. We want safety in our homes and in our streets. So we definitely can't let that take away from the fact that we all still, for the greater good and for the vast majority of the community, 99 whatever percentage it is of us that really just have our wits about us, we want better. So that's what's important. Keep in mind. So let's get to it. Anything you guys want to start with? You know me, I always have a list of things that I like to talk about.
You want to talk about the arrest?
Yeah, let's go for that.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Yeah. So I guess everybody should have heard the news by now, but if you didn't, they finally arrested all 4 officers. And upgraded the charge for the I forget his name, the white officer. Yeah. Who had his knee on his neck. They upgraded his charge to 2nd-degree murder. It took everything from changing that, like, the attorney general had to take over the case. You feel me? It took 50 states, 18 countries, they said, to protest in order for all of that to happen, you know what I mean? And you were still going up against the president who was trying to use the U.S. Army to against his own citizens. So you feel me? It was a lot going on in this past week. You feel me? But we got together. That's just the first step, though. So we can't get too excited. You know what I mean? We can't
also deal with some nonsense like we dealt with plenty of times before. They get get found not guilty and all that.
Right. Exactly. So you know what I mean? But
it's a good first step. It's definitely
a good first step. It's definitely a good first step.
Yeah.
My thing is, though, you feel me? Like they can't mess this up. Exactly. They can't mess this up because what they thought was crazy now, it's going to be 10 times that if some funny business happen and these officers get off.
Exactly.
You feel me? Or if they not even sentenced properly.
Yeah. So that's my worry, is that I look at it from the standpoint of, as always, that we have to be, like you said, conscious of the fact that we still have a process to go through. There's still a whole court trial to go through. There's still more than likely there's going to be a jury involved. So there's still deliberation of that. So we're still dealing with people making decisions that could turn this from another, turn this into another situation where we still don't get what we want out of the situation. But it's a good first step in the fact that they've made those modifications to the charges as well as arrested the other officers. The other officers are getting charged with aiding and abetting a murder, a 2nd-degree murder. I don't know what the exact sentencing that could create it in that state, but I'm sure that it doesn't have light minimums. So hopefully we definitely see the results that we want to see. But like you just said, I look at it from the standpoint of it becomes up to either, and I don't know about Minnesota if it's the judge or the jury that makes the decision, but whoever makes that decision on the sentencing, it becomes up to them, no matter what they charge the guy with or whatever they prosecute him with and find them guilty of. If they do find them guilty, it still lies in their hands to make a determination of how much of a sentence he receives. And we saw in the Amber Geiger case when she killed Botham Jean, when she killed him, is that she ended up only getting 10 years with a possibility of parole. So I mean, for a murder,
but that had a lot to do with the family forgiving and it was a lot of funny business with that too.
Yeah. I mean, there were some extenuating circumstances there. But I feel like it's still, regardless of the family, I think it still would have happened. I think it still would have been one of those things where the judge would have been lenient, because that judge was lenient on her.
Like that judge.
Same kind of energy where she, she gave the woman a Bible, gave her a husband, gave her all which is all against the law. I mean, it's literally against the law. Like they literally pulled that whole trial, called it a mistrial. Unfortunately, they could have called it a mistrial to the point of knocking out the entire judgment. You know what I mean? That's how bad what she did was. That judge broke so many laws. So the fact that there was already a lot of, like you say, pandering to her situation, a lot of things going on there. It's still, to be seen what we get out of this Chauvin murder case, and to see if he gets what he really deserves is, more than 2 decades in prison. So. Sonny, you're muted.
So my lips moving. Okay.
Yeah.
I said, now I just hope that we actually see justice, like fitting. Can you hear me?
Yeah, no, I can't. I'm trying to read Damon's comment while you're talking. I'm sorry.
Well, I just hope that we see a fitting justice in justice in the situation, and that if they need to be made example of, they need to be made example of, so that way going forward we won't have to keep dealing with this.
Right. Yeah.
But I feel like that's wishful thinking at this point.
You said you feel like it's wishful thinking?
Yeah, because I don't think it's going to happen.
Okay.
I believe what's going to happen is the officer that Shelvin, whatever his name is, I don't even want to say his name, but I believe they're going to get him.
Okay. Gonna make an example out of him.
They're gonna make an example out of him just for the fact that he was too smug. You got your hands in your pocket and you got that little smug look. All right, we're gonna get your ass. You feel me? We're gonna get a public you. The other 3, I'm not too sure they're gonna do them real harshly. I think they're gonna get them be lenient with them a little bit. They may get some type of reprimand. Maybe do have a couple years or a lot of years of probation or whatever, but and banned from all future law enforcement jobs and stuff like that. But I doubt if the other officers really get charged that badly,
right?
As much as he will, you know what I mean. But I really do think they're going through the book at him. They're going through the book at him.
Yeah,
that's the only thing that people are going to accept. My bad, not to cut you off, but that's the only thing. That's the only thing that people going to accept. You feel me? Somebody got to get the book thrown at. You feel me? You know what I mean? We tired of y'all because the conviction rates are so low with officers after these murders. Like, it's ridiculous. You feel me? A lot of them just get their jobs back.
Right.
You feel me? Some of them may just quit in a couple years because, you know what I mean, all the backlash, but they ain't really, it ain't really affecting their life. They just, they just switching careers.
Exactly.
So like, it ain't really hurting them. So we really got to see somebody go down. We really got, not just this time, but in the Breonna Taylor case, all these other cases that's still on deck. And we ain't forget about Ahmaud Arbery.
Right, exactly.
I mean? Like,
That's still a pending case, right? They charged them, but we're still waiting on that.
Lee Merritt, I think that's how you pronounce his name, the lawyer. He was on IG all day. I don't know if you could go to his page on here, but he was posting updates from, because they was in court today, and he was posting how crazy the defense was coming for them, and how racist the comments they was making inside the courtroom. Like it was crazy, the posts that he was putting up there the day that they were saying inside of there. You know what I mean? As far as like they was basically admitting that one of the dudes, after he killed them, stood over and was like, "No, I mean, fuck you, nigger," and all that. You feel me? Yeah, this is stuff that they was, you know what I mean?
Wow. Are you serious?
Yes. Read that. Like that's crazy. Any patriotic American would have jumped in his truck and participated in the hunt of Ahmaud Arbery.
Wow.
Testimony's kind of planning to shoot if he was successful in defending.
Wow. So I mean, they're literally living, or not living, but defending based on the fact that they had racist intent. They had murderous intent at that.
That's crazy, bro. Like that's crazy. And it's a couple other ones, you know what I mean? Like them posts, he was going in on them posts. Just like some of the stuff was making me like, wow. Know what I mean? He said the judge had to tell one of the defense attorneys for them to shut up and sit down. You know what I mean? Because he's like, one of the lawyers was like, can we just skip all this and play the tape? You know what I mean? Like, nice fewer nigga. Yep.
The defense attorney is building a case against his client. Exactly.
Yeah, like that's like.
But the sad part about that is that another attorney can come in later and say that
it was it wasn't what was it? Something about the defense didn't do their best to
exactly that the defense.
So he can get another whole nother trial.
Right. Yeah. A whole nother trial. I mean, doing the way they're doing this, that could definitely
almost like derelict duty. Like,
right.
no, I mean, like they just doing it. Like that'd be corny. That'd be corny right there. That'll get them killed, man. Like,
wow. He said the defense attorney says it's a normal part of life in South Georgia, and that members of the courtroom could educate the GBI on racist norms in the region. Wow. Wow. I like it in a way, but then it makes me fearful in a way. You know what I'm saying? That he could be creating a perfect storm for a mistrial. You know, so
and it's almost like he's basically telling them, like, look, man, it is what it is.
Yeah.
You feel me? And he's basically, if it's a judge, he basically telling the judge, like,
appreciate you, bro.
I want to know who the judge is. What's the race of the judge? Because it look like he basically just telling the judge, like, man, you know what it is.
Right.
You feel me? The jurors, y'all know what it is. Y'all would have did the same thing.
Mm-hmm. No doubt.
You feel me? That's basically what he telling y'all. Would have did the same. Y'all know what it is. Mm-hmm. Like, why are we doing this sham? Like, this all the sham. That's how the defense coming to me. That's how I see it. Like, he just come.
There he's talking about the just play the tape.
Yeah.
That guy looks like a racist. Man, that's crazy.
That's crazy, bro. Like, it is crazy, man. Like,
this is, man. That's got to be the wildest.
Telling you, bro. I'm telling you.
Man. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how some people's minds work in terms of this kind of stuff when they're that racist or they're that belligerent about racism, but it's what doesn't usually surprise me is just the fact that they have that that belligerence where they don't care, because they're like, hey, you know what, it is what it is. We're gonna be racist one way or another. We can care less how you feel about it, So I think that's when it gets really odd and crazy, is that they feel like that, and they'll tell you that, and I think that I'm feeling the same way, Tia.
You reading this? Yeah.
Like it's just crazy. That I was reading that earlier. Like I'm just minding my business, scrolling, and I'm like, yo, like what is he post? Like this can't be real. Like they can't be saying that. And then like yeah, I'm like, wow.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, but that's hate. I mean, and sadly that's the kind of stuff that we're trying to protest against, and some people are just not understanding that this is real life for people, that they're going through sometimes the most blatant racism or the most blatant prejudice situations that anybody could pointedly say this is racism. This is this is horrible. This is literally a crime. And just to know that they're promoting it. I mean, this right here says it all. This patriotic American jump in his trunk and hunt Ahmaud Arbery. I mean, for him to say that
that should tell people that the people that don't believe in white privilege and stuff like that, and that people is racism in 2020 and all this stupidness that they just refuse to acknowledge. If they read that, how can you defend that? But then again, they defend everything.
True. And to add on to that, it's like it's crazy. It's like when they talk about patriotism, they just automatically attach that to whiteness.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You
because
feel
that's
me?
What it was
like,
for.
But like black people didn't die for this country.
Right.
They did,
like
but we
know what I mean?
died
Like
and they don't care.
Exactly. You know what I mean? So, but my thing is like
we were deemed as property and stuff like that.
In a lot of wars, it's still a lot of black veterans. You feel me? Who take pride in that. You know what I mean? I know it's still a lot of proud black veterans who are alive and take pride in serving this country.
Right.
You know what I mean? In that war, it is what it is. And the fact that, you know what I mean, a lot of white people think that they got a monopoly on the patriotism or love for this country, it's like, nah, because a lot of black people, even though they went to war and they feel like, you know what I mean, they ain't get the proper respect, they still feel like they blood helped build this country.
Right.
The blood of our ancestors helped build this country. This is our country. You feel me? We just not gonna concede. Like we gotta just stop conceding it to them just because it's more them than us. Like, nah, we got as much right to this land as y'all do.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? We helped build it.
No doubt.
You feel me? We helped build all this. You feel me? This is on our backs at the end of the day, our ancestors' backs. You feel me? That all of us are standing on. So, you know what I mean? Like, the fact that they think that's what leads to the Drew Brees. I don't know if y'all heard his comment.
Oh yeah, so I didn't hear his comments, but I know everybody was waiting to see what he was going to say, and then all I kept saying was F Drew Brees. What the hell happened with there?
Well, he was doing an interview, and I guess with all that was going on, the person who was interviewing asked him if when the season starts, now I mean, would you support them if they continue to need this year? And he just responded, was like, no, I ain't supporting nobody that disrespects the flag in that way. I mean, especially since my two grandfathers served for this country and this, that, and the third. You feel me? He's like, no, I can't respect that at all. So what I mean, everybody like, and that goes back to my point. Like, hold up, bro. What I mean? Keep talking about your grandfathers. What I mean? Like, black people ain't fight for this country as well.
Right.
Shed blood and die for this country as well. And and those black gentlemen, men and women, they did that was in that service. They didn't come home to no fanfare. You know what I mean? Basically, they fought for your freedoms. You feel me? They died and shed blood for your freedoms, not theirs. You feel me? It still came home and was you can't eat here, you can't drink. We still getting the worst of the worst, and they bled and sacrificed just as much, if not more.
Mm-hmm.
You feel
They
me?
sent them on the front line.
So like, who do you think you are? Like to make that comment,
Right.
You feel me? And then you totally missed the point when you say that of why Cat kneeled. People gotta remember, I was one of, you know what I mean. Cat lost me these last couple years, but when he first started, I was one of the main ones behind him.
Mm-hmm.
Know what I mean? You feel me? So like, my thing was always his protest when he was kneeling. He was doing that out of respect,
right,
for the flag. It was never. He literally asked the Green Beret like, "Yo, you know what I mean? What's the best way for me to do it?" You know what I mean? Because he wasn't because what's the name? Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf, formerly known as Chris Jackson, when he played for the Denver Nuggets back in the 90s, he did the same thing. He sat down in the NBA. He basically got ostracized and eventually kicked out the league for it.
right.
You know what I mean? By within a couple years after that, you feel me? That ruined his career, NBA career, and he was nice, one of my favorite players. So he did that. So Cat and his mom was like, "All right, what would be a respectful way for me to do it?" He was told to knee. Now I mean, but all he was trying to do was highlight the injustices of the police brutality. He wasn't trying to disrespect the flag. So for you not to still get that 4 years later, it's been 4 years, bro. That man done changed his plenty of times.
I mean, and that's my thing is that it's willful ignorance. Once again, it's willful ignorance. People don't want to understand or don't want to see the real reason for the protest.
But I think that's a cop out too. I think that's a cop. I think they do understand, bro. They know.
They understand.
They just don't care. They just don't care, and they want to make it seem. You feel me? It's the art of war, baby. You feel me? Like, I don't give a fuck about you, but I ain't gonna let you know I don't give a fuck about you.
right.
You feel me? That's all they do.
That's like the post that say when we say Black Lives Matter and they say, well, all lives matter. It's like I made a post about that. When just because we say Black Lives Matter, we understand that all lives matter. We want y'all to get that all lives matter, and when we say all lives matter, that includes Black people because y'all keep forgetting that shit.
Exactly.
That's a reminder. Like that's what everybody's like. Oh well, why do you keep saying Black Lives Matter? You know, Blue Lives Matter. Yeah, everybody, all lives matter. We do too. We trying to get y'all to hear that into your brain.
Everything.
Yeah.
The fact
I can't respect nobody that says that.
Exactly.
Like we say all lives matter to me, and I say Black Lives Matter. Oh, all lives matter. Like okay, yeah, no, I really can't fuck with you.
Yeah,
because you want some dumb shit.
So today, Drew Brees decided to apologize. And, you know, as usual, we always got this big apology. I think on Tuesday he did the Blackout Tuesday thing. He came back with an apology 14 hours ago, saying he wants to apologize to his friends, teammates, New Orleans, the Black community, the NFL community, anyone he hurt with his comments. I think he also posted a picture of some. There.
What, him with black folk?
Nah. I mean, with and Craig Hodges, Dan. You already know and Craig Hodges. You feel me? He protested too and lost his career in the NBA. You feel me? Like, but that's what he posted. Yeah, he posted a long.
He posted a black hand. Like, get this. It's like posting a black person. I'm friends with this person. Nobody cares.
Right. And here's the thing, though.
I got black friends. It does not mean that you're not a racist.
Here's the thing, though. It's not the fact that he's a racist, because I don't believe he's a racist at all. I don't believe he's a racist in the slightest bit. Like,
he's just not an ally, and he's
not cognitive of what's going on.
Exactly.
He knows what's going on. He just don't care.
But let me clarify.
I don't want to get involved.
Let me clarify. When they asked him a question, they never referenced George Floyd, so he wasn't responding about the George Floyd situation.
Right.
They do specifically. You know what I mean? It got spent that way that he was talking about George Floyd, but he wasn't. You know what I mean? Like he well documented for helping the community. Like he does all that stuff. You feel me? But the problem is when you're unaware, like ignorance isn't an excuse. You feel me? I know we all heard that before. Ignorance isn't an excuse.
Mm-hmm.
He's ignorant to what's going on around him. You feel me? It's like a white person that's never been around black people. So he like, I don't know what about they plight. I'm living in my own world. It ain't racist. You know what I mean? It ain't this, that. It's this way. It's like, no. And when you stay in that lane and don't want to hear what other people are telling you, then you become a part of the problem.
Right.
You feel me? That's why they say silence is just like condoning.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Exactly.
You feel me? So when you remain silent or willfully
in your silent.
Exactly. You know what I mean? And I think that's what's more damaging to progress is the people that's in the middle who refuse to engage in the conversation or admit that a lot of this is going on. You feel me? Just want to sweep it under the rug or just look past it and move forward. All this kumbaya. It's like, nah, we got to deal with this. And until we deal with it, you feel me? It's just going to eat away at our society. Pretty soon, we're going to be almost damn near a third world country.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And that's a fact. You feel me? Like,
yeah, I mean, I think it's just another empty prompt or empty apology as usual. Because I mean, I can't remember where I was seeing this, but it was recently in the last week or two where people were saying or making the statement that, you know, it's not only that it's been the last 2 weeks, it's not only that it's been the last 4 years, it's not only that it's been since Rodney King, but to be willfully ignorant right now is a choice. It's a complete choice. You are choosing to be ignorant to the fact.
Right,
you're choosing to be oh man, my bad. I'm like reading the comment instead of showing it. Natalino just made the comment about Lil Wayne and Lil Wayne concert. And that's where just because he lives in a, you know, certain area or lives a certain lifestyle or has certain types of money, he feels like he doesn't have to relate to black issues. He doesn't have to relate to issues of racism, you know. But what I was trying to say about the man, now I just lost my train of thought. Before I saw the comment, I don't know how many years it's been. Like I forgot the count, but since Rodney King, you know, the issues and the plight that we've been going through has been televised. It's been put out there. It's been video after video of murders, deaths. You know, even if it wasn't clear, like the whole Sandra Bland thing, white people can objectively say they don't know. We know the truth because we know what happens in those jail cells. We know what happens in those police cars. But if they want to be willfully ignorant about that, you know, okay, that's fine. But you watch Eric Garner get choked to death. You watched a Walter, what's my man named Walter?
Scott
get shot in his back as he ran away. The man was not even getting arrested for anything violent. He was getting arrested for like public drunkenness or something weird. It was something weird. You don't get executed for public drunkenness, or you don't get executed in the streets at all. Really, that's not how our justice system's supposed to work. So to be willfully ignorant about the way that black people are being treated is your choice. You're making that choice to be ignorant about this fact. You're making this choice. You're making this choice to not care. You know what? This doesn't affect me, so I don't care. You're making that choice. Are you racist because of that? You know, maybe not. But you're showing the fact that
definitely selfish,
no concern and no regard for human life, human decency, and that no matter how much we talk about this, you're not going to be listening because you're already trying to zone it out. You're already trying to be. The
video went out, bro.
I don't know what just happened there. My bad. All right. You know, you're already trying to be dismissive of people's issues. So I don't know how in 2020, if you're over 8 years old, you don't get it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? If you're over 8 years old, my 9-year-old grandson understands racism.
Mm-hmm.
You know, my 13-year-old son understands race. They don't see it. My 9-year-old grandson is, I can't even explain the mixture of racism color he is, but he's bright white. You know, he probably will never see a lick of racism besides, you know, if somebody sees his name because he has a Arabic name, and then he'll probably get that kind of racism. But he'll never see racism head on in most situations. But he still understands it. He still gets it because he's seen it on Instagram. He's seen it on TikTok. He's seen it on TV. He's seen it in media. He's seen it, you know what I mean? We talk about it at the house. It's blatant, is in his face. So he gets it. You know, my son, same thing, even though, you know, he's a young black man. But the thing is, we live in an area where we don't interact with the police. We don't interact with, you know, with that type of police. We have black officers. They're very, you know, conscious about being, you know, good communicators. They're very, you know, so we have some good cops in our area, but he sees enough of it in the media. He sees enough of it, you know, when we talk about it in our home. I mean, we got a lot of militants in our home, so we constantly talk about it all the time.
And it's a part of the conversation,
yeah,
too, that we're gonna have because, like, I wanted to go back to the brother point when he said the Lil Wayne complex. Because we can get deep with it, and it's a part of the conversation that because we're probably mature enough on here. What's up, sis? What's up, Tanya? We're probably mature enough on here to be able to have multiple conversations at once and realize they're separate conversations. Mm-hmm. You feel me? Just like I mentioned in the show earlier when we first started the show, I was talking about the violence in the city in Trenton. You feel me? And it's mainly us killing us, but that has nothing to do with police brutality. You feel me? You know, those two different, you know what I mean? And then there's no such thing as black on black crime, really. It's just that, you know what I mean, community, we just got to do better in our community. You know what I mean? Poverty has a lot to do with it. But gang culture, and our culture a little bit, the gang culture, the violent culture, period. But a lot of this has to do with how we're perceived in the media, and how a lot of people within the community hate themselves. You feel me? So when we hate ourselves, when they see, you know, people are watching us, you feel me? Like, they love our style, but they also see that there's a lot of hate within our community with ourselves. Right. You feel me? A lot of us hate ourselves. So they'll look at it like, them guys don't love themselves. You feel me? So why should we care? There's a lot of people out there that's like that. And then there's a lot of people within the community, you feel me, who have, you know what I mean? A lot of us have experienced death. A lot of us have had quite a few loved ones murdered. Mm-hmm. You feel me? Murdered. You feel me? And I had few loved ones who've committed murder as well. So then in the community, you feel me, we still have a strong dislike and hate towards one another and a strife. So we can't expect them to love us or see us the way we want them to if we don't see each other that way. Like, that's real.
Yeah, that's true.
You feel me? Like, that's real. I know a lot of people don't want to
hear that.
Right. You feel me? Don't want to hear that because they like, man, that's two separate things. But that's reality. You feel me? I don't care if they're from the outside looking in, you feel me? All they see is us killing us.
Right.
You feel me? All they know is from TV is black on black crime. You feel me? It was the young girls, a young white girl right now. It's all over IG. She posted a video of her talking to her dad. You feel me? This is a young white girl, but she can't be that old at all. You feel me? Not too much older than my daughter. It's gotta be no older than 10, 11. And she's having a conversation, and her dad talking about how he worked in a ghetto.
Oh, yeah, that's the video I was gonna bring up. Yeah.
And she like, what? Like, how can you say that? You feel me? Like, that's not all they fault. You feel me? What about the conditions that he was like? She was telling him it's because of you, the people that think that way, is the reason why they're in this situation they're in.
Right, exactly.
You feel me? But we can't, as long as they look at us as animals, we gotta stop. That's why I say stop looking for them for approval. You
Yeah.
feel me? Stop looking for them for acceptance. Stop looking for them to love us. For what? They never will. You feel me? Worry about us. You feel me? Like just it's that simple.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt, Tia. I want to get back to T's question earlier about here it is. So
Yeah.
she
I like
said, help
that
her
question.
understand, is it illegal to run away from the police? Do they have the authority to shoot you if you don't freeze and keep running away? How can they still claim to be afraid for their life? So there's actually two different things going on in this question. From a standpoint of, is it illegal to run away from the police? Technically, yes, it is illegal to run from the police. You're resisting arrest if you attempt to run, if you trip to escape, and you're under police custody. If you are under arrest and you decide to leave the scene, then you are breaking the law. Mm-hmm. Are they allowed to shoot you in order to bring you back into justice? Gray area. Like you said, the thing is that there's cops who will claim that they are afraid for their lives. There are cops that will claim that for the greater safety of the community, that they have used their weapon on a suspect trying to leave the scene. That becomes their excuse or their reasoning. I'll call it reasoning. But the thing is that in a situation where you have an individual that is breaking minor or misdemeanor, having misdemeanor offenses, shooting them is an extreme. I mean, if you're getting arrested for jaywalking, if you're getting arrested, for blatant jaywalking, or if you're getting arrested for stealing something out of a store, or if you're getting arrested for whatever the case may be, if it's a minor crime or if it's a nonviolent crime, shooting that person becomes an extreme measure, because the thing is that what they're doing is no life-threatening direct result to the community. Yes, they're breaking laws of the community, and it becomes a problem of, you need to bring them into custody and have them face a judge. Executing people in the streets is wrong. There's no provision in any law book in this country that said that execution in the streets by law enforcement is the proper process. There's no process for that. We don't.
Whatever happened to cops chasing people like they do? We all watch cops. We seen them run. People ran away plenty of times, fled the scene plenty of times. You run after them. Right. You got a partner. That's what y'all there for.
Yeah.
Somebody hop in the car and somebody.
And even if you want to use a taser, if you want to use, people have even said
rubber bullets.
Huh?
Rubber bullets, something.
Yeah, something.
Rubber bullets can hurt.
Non-lethal methods.
They can hurt, but they rubber bullets can hurt, but it's not lethal.
It's not fatal.
Well,
not fatal.
It's not fatal. And then even that,
normally fatal.
If they're running away, why not shoot them in the leg?
Yeah. But the thing
they
is,
keep bringing that argument up, but it's never been concrete why they. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. So if that's the reason I made that determination, or sorry, my words are leaving me. That's the reason why I separated those two. That's the reason why I made the comment that if you're under arrest, then it's illegal. If you're not under arrest, if you're not being taken into custody, leaving the scene is your choice. Technically, unfortunately, as Black people, we have not afforded that opportunity, and
we can't even yell at cops because we're like, how many times we have seen people that are blonde hair, blue eyed, whatever the case may be, white folks yelling at cops when cops pull them over, going off, telling them where to go, flipping the bird, being aggressive, moving their hands wildly, looking way threatening than us by moving just all over the place, suddenly moving, reaching for shit, just miscellaneous shit.
Right.
And they're perfectly fine, right? And as Black people, we can't afford to do that.
Yeah.
Like that's what I mean. Our skin color,
our life.
Yeah, our skin color causes them to feel threatened. Period.
Exactly.
That's what it is. Our skin color is the problem. We haven't done anything for the most part, or like I said on the last show, you could be doing what you're supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
How many people got shot by doing what they were told to do? License and registration. What do you do when they say license and registration? You reach out for your license and registration. You can get killed.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like this is where we're at right now.
And we've seen videos of that. The young man in Georgia that was asked for his license registration. He's literally out of the truck already. And the police officer asked him for his license and registration. He turns around to grab it. The cop shoots him in the back.
Yes. Yep. So like I say, it's damned if you do, you damned if you don't. And at this point, we have to raise our kids or our young men and women to say, no matter what, like to understand that it's like I said, that's why I put in that post. Like when your kids walk out these doors, you have to you worry because you don't know.
Right.
They could be following instructions and get killed.
Yeah, just
I don't know if anybody seen
that question real quick before we move on to your comment, Damon. But no, they're not legally justified to shoot a person that they're questioning. You're a person of interest. You're a witness. You're someone who was whatever the case may be. You're not, or the cop is not justified to just start shooting. There's no justification for that. Of course, we've seen them do that and still get acquitted because they were afraid for their lives or whatever the case may be. But it's not right. It's not proper. And there's no law that allows that.
And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if at this point, like I said, it doesn't matter whether you're being arrested or being pulled over and just talked to. You could be shot and killed because you're either following directions or you're upset because you want to know why you got pulled over. Mm-hmm. Like asking the question, why did you pull me over is problematic. So as people like us, you can't just do whatever normal people would do. You get pulled over. Hey, why am I getting pulled over? If you say it in an aggressive tone, your skin color is threatening, and now you're talking to them aggressively. Mm-hmm. So either way, you like I said, is at the point where you are taught that doesn't matter, and people, and then that's why we still get if somebody do get shot and killed in police custody, they start putting up mug shots for their pictures, not normal pictures.
Exactly.
Because they're trying to demonize a person to justify why they shot them.
Hey, Willie, I just sent you something.
Direct message, I see it.
Yeah. Can you play that video for me?
Yeah. And go ahead, Damon. Make your comment, then I'm going to comment on T's last comment here. Go ahead, Damon.
Yeah. Running away from the police. I don't know if y'all seen the video of right during the George Floyd's protests. A guy in Texas got pulled over for running a stop sign, guns drawn on him. He's on the ground. He's a 21-year-old male, black, and he's on the ground. The police saying, "Get up, turn around, and back your way to us." Mm-hmm. He continued to have his arms on the ground, saying, "No, I'm scared. I'm scared." And whoever his neighbor, girlfriend, cousin, or whatever, whoever is filming it, saying he's scared. Why don't y'all put your guns up and go get him? There's like 4 or 6 squad cars there.
I've seen plenty of videos like that.
Yeah, but this is recent. This is during a George Floyd protest, and it happened in Texas. And now the kid, just because he didn't get up to go, had to have the police go get him, he's been charged with resisting arrest, or was it something else?
Obstruction.
Obstruction of justice. Yeah. So it's like stuff like that. We don't get the fair shake and the chances to defend ourselves correctly because they just don't like us. Right. I would like D.L. Hughley said, "I wish white people would love us like they love animals."
Right. Exactly.
And better yet, our culture, because they love everything about our culture, but they don't love us.
Right. Mm-hmm.
The Kardashians took all our braids, all our looks. Oh, it's a Kim Kardashian braid. What? Black people had cornrows for years. What are you talking about, Kim Kardashian?
Right. Oh, yeah.
It's just
that's that cultural appropriation. Yeah. But let me speak to this real quick. So to her point about the Sandra Bland situation, that is something that happens everywhere, and it happened. I mean, that kind of stuff happens to white people, black people, yellow, everybody, where police have overstepped their authority and have decided that they are going to make an arrest or that they're going to take a person into custody or even just handcuff you. Like I was in Detroit one day, getting some gas at a gas station in some, I forgot what neighborhood it was. I went into the gas station to pay for my gas. This was back when you still had to go in to make a payment. Actually, no, matter of fact, I think it wasn't even like that. It was just the fact that they didn't have the pumps that allowed to pay at the pump. So I had to go in. So I go into the gas station, and as I'm coming out, all of a sudden there's police in the parking area, or not the parking, at the pumps or whatever. I didn't think anything of it. So I go to my car to start pumping the gas, and the police run up on me and literally handcuff me without any regard for asking who I am. They didn't ask me for any information, anything before they handcuffed me. And I'm like, what are you doing? Why are you handcuffing me? I'm like, are you putting me under arrest? What's going on? And their thing is they're protecting themselves, but it was like, I don't know. It had to have been six, not six. Had to have been about 4 of them out of the cars, and then there was more in cars. So you're talking, it's me. I'm unarmed, not even doing it. I'm literally going to get some gas, and there's 4 officers handcuffing me and putting me on my car to ask me some questions about who I am, where I was. I heard some gunshots, blah blah blah, and I'm in a situation where I'm at a disadvantage. 1, because they're cops, but then 2, it's 4 of them, and I'm trying to answer questions from multiple people. So it was chaos, pure and utter chaos. But this happens to people
all the time,
times, probably a day, if not a year. Is it? I
want to show that video, Will, because this goes to her point of excessive force. You feel me? This is 2 women. Look at. I want y'all to see what these cops do to these 2 women. 2 women. Now, you gonna be able to share it?
Sorry, my one of my devices started playing. I don't know why it was playing.
Stop watching Peppa Pig on your spare time.
What was that?
Tell him stop watching Peppa Pig on his spare time.
Oh.
So this is from Chuck D posted this. This is where I got this video from. And
okay.
Sorry, I forgot to share the audio. Yeah, for some reason it makes you choose to share the audio every time. All right, so there we go. All right.
What the? If that's not excessive.
Get on the ground.
And that's what they did to 2 women. All men cops. And look, they ain't finished. Look how they all just come to jump on the 1 woman.
Why are they all jumping on her? The one guy didn't have her? I mean, I don't understand. Like, the one guy didn't have her?
And they said right there, they shot her with projectiles, hitting her in her stomach, her legs. Like, are you serious? And then look how he pushed her down.
Get on the ground.
And she was asking
the second girl for saying why. Literally, they're arresting her for saying why.
Like, and this is what I'm talking about. Like, they don't come to de-escalate, they come to escalate.
Never.
You know what I mean? It's just like, Will, yeah, T, like that's crazy that's happening, Will, but that happens to a lot of black men. Yeah. You know what I mean? That happens to a lot of black men. Like I told the story, when they pull the gun, I shoot you in your head, motherfucker. Like, that's how you approach me? With all y'all guns drawn? You feel me? I'm in the car, all y'all see is a baby seat. Car, so you ain't even checked to see if it was a baby back there.
Right.
You know what I mean? You seen what they did to Philando Castile. Shot him with his 4-year-old in the back seat. So it's like, you know what I mean? I always said, because we talked about this on previous shows.
I just missed. I'm sorry. I just missed the point on that video.
He grabbed her breast.
it mentions that the officer groped her breast.
Groped her.
So that's
Yeah.
why she pulled away.
Yeah, he groped her breast. You feel me? And I always talk about, you feel me? They're not trained properly. Like their training is crazy. You feel me?
No, no.
I
They're
heard
trained
people from the
properly. They just
military.
don't care anymore.
Exactly. Yeah.
I heard people from the military say like we don't even use some of the tactics y'all use at war.
Exactly.
In war zones. So like it's crazy.
Wow. And then ordered them to hit her. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
And she's just asking why, and she gets beat up.
Exactly. Now that happened. I believe they said that happened in Indianapolis.
Yeah, Indianapolis. Yep.
You feel me? So it's like,
yeah. I mean, they're and you know, when they come in that militarized gear, they get a whole different mindset.
Yeah, man. Like this is, and you know, like so what about? So let's get to leadership.
Hey, before you do that, I want to piggyback on some of you. I was in the car listening to you. I couldn't get on the show about Drew Brees.
Yeah.
How this guy played with black people all his life. Pee Wee League, all the way up to the pros. You know, he's been in the locker rooms with these black people. I'm not sure. I can't read his heart. I can tell you that I don't think he's racist. I think he's just privileged and blind and oblivious to his surroundings about, I mean, yeah, everybody had fathers and grandfathers that went to war and is very proud. But this comes to a point where he's just ignorant about the situation and he doesn't want to know. He wants to stay blind and he wants to stay in his little comfy zone. As long as it doesn't affect him, he should be good with it. You know, that's how a lot of black people feel too.
That's that willful ignorance.
And and people gotta stop. Like always hear, and it's the one thing I heard growing up that I know is not true because I've been in them locker rooms. I've been at a school where Pennsbury in PA, where as a freshman, was very few black people there. I was on the basketball team. You feel me? This notion that sports brings everybody and all cultures together is always false. It's always been false. You feel me? Just because somebody's your teammate and may like being your teammate, like playing that specific sport with you, doesn't mean they're with you. Doesn't mean they will want to come around you, associate with you outside of that arena. And I mean, so you know, he may have played football with black people all his life, but that doesn't mean he experienced black people. You feel me?
Yeah.
Because we're more than just sports. So if all he ever been around us is in a sports centered situation, whether it's a game, a ceremony, a party situation with teammates, if he hasn't been in everyday life with us, there's no way he can even fathom how we live.
Exactly.
You feel me? So it's like, how can you expect him to relate? So like,
I mean, and to your point, Clint, there's military people who have served with black soldiers. There's people who have been in all types of different situations, right? That are team based or that bring people together in such a way that they have a camaraderie, right? So, but the problem there, like you said, is that it's relating. It's not about relating to that person. It becomes relating to that person's situation, and not being able to see that person go through an experience or understand that they're going through an experience outside of that relationship with you, right? Because you know most of the kids that he may have played with. That doesn't mean they lived in the same neighborhood. That doesn't mean they lived, you know, or that doesn't mean they hung out together 24/7. They may be seeing a different side of the world than he's seeing, or even in a situation like with my kids. My kids, they play on intramural teams where they're playing with other kids that are different race, different cultures. But the thing is that they live in an area where they're not seeing blatant racism on a day-to-day basis. So the other kid never gets to see that experience. The white kid doesn't get to see that experience. So even though he has this black friend, he still can't relate to black issues because he's not living through that with them, or he's not seeing them suffer from that directly. So the experience isn't there. And that's what a lot of people are pointing out right now, is that, people have to get over, I'm not seeing it, so it must not exist. They got to get over that. You got to stop feeling like, just because it's not happening in your neighborhood, it's not happening around the world. I've mentioned that in the past, even here on this show, where somebody might say, oh, I don't know anybody that's gone through this, or I don't know anybody in my neighborhood that has this situation going on, so it must not be true. It's like, no, it's your little world has nothing to do with the rest of us. There's 325 million people in this country. That's a lot. You don't know.
Minus 10,000 now.
5 million people. You don't know what they're going through. You don't understand what their life is like. As soon as you walk out the 4 or 5 mile radius of your block, you're already in a different world. So get over yourself and realize that other people are living a life that there's people in your house living a life that you have no clue about.
Exactly.
Exactly.
And to go on, people don't always share their struggles either. Like you can go along, you didn't know what somebody was going through. Like two houses.
I never talked about that police situation with anybody here.
Right.
I
never
knows about it is maybe my ex-wife and my mother. That's it.
Yeah, and it's crazy because like when you say about the house thing, like I go back to the podcast we did about comfortable in my skin. I believe that's what it wasn't named that, it was something close to that. And me and my sister were on, and growing up in a house full of dark-skinned women, and I'm the only yellow person, and that that barrier of the brown paper bag test, the blacker the berry, sweeter the juice, and stuff like you deal with that in inside the house, and you don't really understand what that does to people. Like so, like to your point, you can say that like you can grow up in a household and not really know personally what that person is going through because they dealing with it within themselves. But I definitely had a question because I watched Amanda Seales' interview, and she was talking in the Breakfast Club and stuff like that, and she was talking about how people feel like how white people. I know I saw a post today from a girl. I believe she's a podcaster. She's not. She's a blogger. She posted. She's white. I believe she's white. I don't know what she is, but I'm going to assume that she's white. And if I'm wrong, if she watched this, my bad. But she posted something, and she was like, "What books can we read? Just trying to understand how we could get them to empathize and sympathize with us, or try to educate themselves on the issues that we're having with what's going on and what's been going on." And basically, Amanda Seales was like, she basically was like, well, I'm over here chilling. Y'all got to figure it out. Like, we shouldn't have to educate you guys on what's going wrong with us. It's clear as day. Y'all see it. Why do you look for us to educate you on what's going on when it's clearly for the world to see? And you choose to acknowledge it, and you can educate yourself. There's Google, like, learn your history, basically, and understand how oppressed we were. Like she compared it, like, and I compared it to my old blog, and I keep laughing because I think about how you guys said I shouldn't have got rid of my old blog when I did the Holocaust versus the slavery thing. And she was like, well, I wanted to know about the Holocaust, the Black people that had their own Holocaust, but she wanted to educate herself on the Jewish people's plight. So she read about the Holocaust and she understood what they went through. Like she could empathize with them and what they went through. So she feel like us as Black people shouldn't have to educate or tell people that are white explaining them like what our issue is. They it's clear as they research it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
what do you guys thoughts on that?
My thoughts is, you feel me? You can tell them to research it, but people got to understand. My whole issue is we give white people way too much credit. You feel me? As if like. You feel me? You want them to go research. Y'all do realize, like, when it comes to education, you feel me? It wasn't meant for everybody. You feel me? It was just meant for the elite, and that included white people. So, like, white people, you know what I mean? They expect them to know something. It's so many of them, rarely, a lot of them don't even live around us, to be honest with you.
Right.
You feel me? So, that's true. They don't know. They don't understand. You feel me? They don't live around us. They don't know what's going on. So they're raised to celebrate their heroes. All everything we learned in school is their history. So that's all they're taught. You feel
You know
me?
why that is, Clint?
To expect them to do research on us. Why? You feel me? Like, so like I feel what Amanda's saying. Like, I don't care. You feel me? Like, that's on y'all. But at the end of the
She's
day,
like, I'm over here in my trampoline.
like,
you know why, Clint?
to expect them to even to expect them to, or even want them to go research our history, it's still beneath us. Like, why care?
What?
Like, I'm
Well,
definitely
you know why,
I don't give a
Clint?
fuck.
History. History is written by the victors. Obviously, the
Facts.
Caucasian people have won plenty of wars. And I'm not going short sight a lot of people who are ignorant to the plight of Black people, the struggles that we got to deal with. So because some people are just oblivious to it, they might need help and might want to need some extra guidance on seeing things from a different perspective because their upbringing, their area, their living situation. So I'm not going to shortchange everybody, but people who are close to the situation, they see what's happening. And like that video you showed Monday with the doctor of the short white lady. I can't think of her name right now.
Jane Elliott.
Yeah. I seen the video today of her in the classroom with students asking who would like to trade places with Black people.
Oh,
Nobody raised their hand. Yeah, nobody raised their hand.
You posted that on the last show, right?
Yeah, you posted on the last show. But all day today, MSNBC's been showing old clips of Tupac in 1994 talking about the same issues that we're talking about today.
Mm-hmm.
And it's crazy that they're playing all these different videos and different audio of Tupac in interviews talking about the plight of a Black man and the struggles.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm trying to find this article. Okay, so we had also talked about an article last time.
That's a good book, T.
Yeah, we also talked about an article that mentioned 75 things that white people can do, and in this.
I watched the 13th. I watched the Netflix documentary on 13th Amendment.
Yeah, what they call it, the article mentions the 13th. It mentions the house I live in. It mentions a few different books like the it mentions an article called The Case for Reparations. So there's a bunch of different things in that article that describes things that you can do to educate yourself, as well as things you can also do to help in this fight for racial justice. So I'm going to post that in the comments, that article. I recommend Black people to read it as well, to read this article, to make use of the resource, because there's a lot of things that some Black people don't understand about the plight and don't understand about the fight, and it would be helpful for them to understand as well. So definitely everyone should make themselves familiar with this list. Of course, you can't read and do all 75 things. Start somewhere on that list, find the books, find the articles, whatever you can do to educate yourself, as well as there's a lot of different community-based suggestions in there, things you can do to educate yourself about how your community handles race relations, how they handle minimum sentencing, how they handle evidence-based recordings, things of that nature, and how you can push legislation for that as well. So definitely take a look at this list and make use of it. So
I'm still on the I guess like I respect her energy. I respect, I don't really follow Amanda Seales like that, but I'm with her on that as far as, you feel me? I'm not here to tell you, or explain to you how to help us at this point. You feel me? I'm telling you what it is, because like they said, the most we can do is legislative. You feel me? As long as we get legislation that ain't no such thing as fair, but help us gain some equity, or just help us level the playing field a little bit, then that's all we need. From there, Black people, the ones of us who want to make something happen, will make something happen.
Right.
You feel like, everybody on here pretty much is a go-getter. So like, we ain't asking nobody for no handouts or nothing. So I continue to move that way. I ain't, what I mean? Like all this, what white people can do to help us. And like I also posted, I mean? Like we care too much about white people telling other white people to be nice. You feel me? You care way too much about that. Like, I mean? Like relax.
So
you feel me?
So
if they not, because I'm sorry, Willie, but my thing is, it all goes back to the point of what you said earlier, will for ignorance, and also some just never going to get it. Some just never going to get it. You feel me? They just never going to get it. It's just those people. We had those people in our own community, who just never going to get it. So they expect other communities not to have that. You feel me? It's just beating a dead horse. It's fighting a fight or a battle. Excuse me. That's just a battle I don't feel like fighting. It's just a waste of time.
Right.
You feel me? Because that problem is always going to be there. It's always going to be a constant.
Hey, I have a question when you get finished, Will.
Yep. So my thing about that though is that there's still this gray area, or there's actually two gray areas. There's a gray area in society where there's people that don't get it, but they want to. And I think that's where this is helpful. I think that and I mean, to your point, Clint, and to Amanda Seale's point, I know it's exhausting, it's infuriating, and it's like you said, it's kind of ridiculous when people just refuse to get it. I get that. I feel you there. But then there's some people, and like I said, I think it's white and black, because there's some black people who don't get it because they live in an area, or they live in a status that doesn't beget them that information. So and then there's white people who want to get it, but they don't, because they can't live it. They can't live through it, right? They don't have friends, or they don't live in areas. Like there's a guy at my job today who posted, look, I live in a very remote area. One, nobody's going to be processing in this area. Two, there's no black people in this area. So I don't know anybody who I can really, talk to, so I can get a relation on this, or to understand what I can do to help, or understand what I can do to, whatever. So, but the thing is, he has human decency, right? And there's people out there that have human decency.
And that's the thing, Willie. If you watch that video and you see that man, that what happened to him, like, or any of the videos that you have seen.
No, I'm not talking about that. What I'm talking about is this. There's some people who, it's one thing to watch a man get murdered. I get you. That's fine. People with an ounce of human decency should understand that's wrong. What I'm talking about is the people who are trying to understand the black experience from other viewpoints, other issues, like me being pulled over and getting placed in handcuffs. Thank you, Anwar. But it's actually more than theirs, more than just Salt Lake. We have all we have 18 different countries where they're
Anwar Fisher. That's my boy. Anwar, he another one who do what we do.
Okay. Yeah. They definitely are out. They're you're right, Anwar. They're definitely out in places you would never think that they would be protesting. And there's a guy in Sandusky, Ohio. If anybody's familiar with the Great Lakes area, there's a place called Cedar Point. The city where Cedar Point is, all white. There's literally one guy there protesting right now on a daily basis. The guy's out there with his sign protesting for George Floyd. People want to do something, do their part. But even beyond doing their part, there's people who also just want to understand that experience of what they call it, of what we're going through. They want to get it. They want to understand more than just there's police brutality. They want to understand why we have a problem with minimum sentencing. Why do we have a problem with the laws in this country? Why do we have a problem with poverty? Why do we have a problem? What is systemic racism? There's black people who don't understand what systemic racism is. stop dismissing these people who want to learn. You got to stop doing that.
Let me respond. Let me respond
I
to
feel
you.
like it's detrimental to the cause in terms of. I understand a lot of y'all are saying we don't need the allies, we don't need this, we don't need that. I understand that. To each their own. But my thing is if you have people who want to understand your plight and you dismiss them or you block them from that, you're doing your own self a disservice.
All right, let me respond to T. How do we expect change if somebody requests to help?
Exactly.
My thing is this: it's continuously. You feel me? We have been asking y'all for help for damn near how many years?
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? At some point, I don't want to ask for help, or I shouldn't have to ask for help anymore. It's right there. You feel me? That's what Amanda Seales was basically saying. All the evidence, you keep asking me, what can you do? We've been telling you what you can do for so long. You feel me?
Exactly, Anwar.
Yeah, like I'm tired of telling you what to do. So at this point, you know what I mean? If a white person come to me like, man, how can I help? If I have to tell you how to be a good person, you feel me? Then I don't know what else to do. I don't want to tell, you know what I mean? Like I said, I don't care about you telling another white person to be nice to us and all that. That's not going to help us. You feel me? Some people just being nice to me who don't like black people. Like I said, if you can't affect legislation and laws to help us, then it's really nothing. All that who like who, or you know what I mean? Like that don't matter. That don't matter to me. That don't matter to me. You know what I mean? Like that's you feel me? Irrelevant to me. I'm talking about to me.
Right.
You feel me? I can't speak for everybody. To me, that's irrelevant. You feel me? Yeah, they can be allies. I ain't saying nobody can be an ally, but you shouldn't have to ask me to be an ally. You feel me? Just do it. If I see somebody choking, I'm gonna help them. Just do what I can to help them to breathe again.
Right.
You feel me?
Yeah,
I'm not gonna ask them, how can I help you from stop choking? I know how to do the Heimlich maneuver.
Right.
I'm just gonna go and help you breathe, bro.
Right.
You know what I mean? I was walking. I mean, one time I was walking and I tried to drink, I almost died.
Yeah.
For real. It was a white man that was running by and two Asian women behind me. They stopped and helped me. They literally stopped everything they was doing. They was in their world and they stopped and helped me.
Right.
You feel me? That was just human decency. And I was very, very thankful. That's what you do. You know what I mean? But as far as them being allies and what fight, if they're not going to vote, if it's not legislative, then like who likes who? Like, I don't care.
So you just made the point, though. You just made the point. How do they know that they need to vote a certain way? How do they even know what they're voting on? They don't know, right? We talked about in previous shows how people are ignorant to what they're voting on, or they're ignorant to what they're voting for. A lot of
like you just said, most black people don't even know what they're voting for.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
So we have to help ourselves. That's why I always go back. If we can't help ourselves, we always go back to communication and relationships. You feel me? We always now let's go back to relationships. Men and women, right? You're always talking about what we want in a relationship. Most women always talk what they want from a man. Most men always talk about what they want from a woman. But we've said on here plenty of times, most people don't know what they want from themselves. Right. So how they gonna know what they want or what they deserve from somebody else? As a black community, we don't even know what we want for ourselves. We don't even know how to, we don't have no agenda. We speak about that all the time. So until we can focus on ourselves, we don't even know how to help us. Right. So to tell somebody else to help us, like, we got to help us first. We got to learn how to do that. And then we can
you know why?
That's my point. That's all I'm saying.
You know why, Clint? You know why, Clint? Because we haven't got this far yet. We have not got past this stage ever. This is the closest we got to something since OJ allegedly didn't do it. I mean, because right now the conviction, until they go to court, and they actually convict these guys of the homicide, the murder they did. No, this is a small victory. Once we get past this, then I guess we can start trying to tackle other hurdles at that. That's why we don't know what we want, because we have never gotten this far.
Right. Well, so this is my thing, though. This is my thing. To the point of the voting or the legislation that you just mentioned, Clint, as well as in the situation where, so helping somebody in a situation is one thing. That's, I get you. I feel you. That's fine. The problem is that there's a lot of people who don't understand what they're voting on, or they don't understand what laws are changeable, that kind of thing. Because a lot of these laws don't even come up for vote because they're already on the books. They're already there. You have to push for legislation to change them, right? A lot of people don't understand that. They don't even know what the laws of their own, not even just the laws of this country, they don't understand the laws of their community, right? So like that article I just posted that explains to them what they can do. There's a whole article that explains. You no longer have to explain to them, Clint. Give them the article. Say, look, there's an article. Google, if you Google 75 things whites, that's it. That's all they got to Google. There's a whole list out there for them. It's on 2 different websites, the full list. So I think that the biggest thing is getting them to understand what they can do as an ally, or as a decent human being, or as a person who wants to get it, or as a person who needs to understand more, whatever the case, whatever bucket they fit into, or they fit in all the buckets, you know. Mm-hmm. So there's something in that article that would explain to them and help them get to better understanding our situation, our plight, but also what affects us, also what they can do from a legislation side, what they can do from a community-based standard side, from a police-based standards, from understanding why systemic racism is still a thing, why there's problems with
we talk about that often in NWAR.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
About how Black people not really understanding this political climate, or how to vote, what to vote for, how to research and do their research before they go into the voting booth. We talk about that all the time.
Yeah. So I think that giving them that information helps. Like I said, I understand it's frustrating because there's people out here who have been seeing us be brutalized and disenfranchised and disproportionately treated for decades, right? But then there's also, we got to keep in mind, 325 million of us. All 325 million of us aren't in our 30s. All 325 million of us haven't seen racism firsthand. All 325 million of us haven't seen someone be a victim of police brutality, or whatever the case may be. We all haven't seen that, and it doesn't happen in all of our communities. So telling somebody, "Oh, just be a good human being," is not enough. We can't just tell them that, and we also can't just tell them to go research something that they don't know anything about. They don't know what they're researching, right? So if you say
how to start,
right, they don't know where to start, right? And I know me myself, I'm an awesome researcher, but I still need a place to start. I still need a search term. Give me something.
Yeah, idea.
Something I can work with. So, like I said, so that's why I feel like dismissing it completely is just the wrong thing to do. I mean, let me
ask y'all something. When y'all thinking about voting, do y'all go research any other racist backgrounds?
Any other racist background?
Yeah. Do y'all think about any other racist plights?
No, exactly. No.
Okay, so
yeah, but that's why you have to point them in that direction. They don't think about that. Look, we may not even have thought about that, right?
Well, why? But my that's my point though.
That's my point.
Why do you think they're going to vote away their power, bro? You think they're going to vote away their privilege?
It's not about voting away power and
privilege. You feel me? You think just because they understand our plight, that's going to give them some type of if they don't have no empathy for our plight already, then they're not going to get a privilege away, bro. I don't care if they understand our plight.
What if they're 16? What if they're 18? They're 21? They haven't seen it, so they don't know. They don't understand.
They don't experience their plight. I mean, they don't experience their privilege.
Well, no, what I'm saying is, yeah, but what I'm saying is that if they're the type of person that's like, you know what, I know this is happening. I need to understand what I need to do better, and it's a situation where it's not about voting away power. It's about understanding how power is disproportionately applied, right? And saying, look,
right.
I know that this would only be good for everybody. You know, if evidence-based recording is not a thing in your community, it can only be good for everybody, right? It has nothing to do with voting away power. If having a minimum sentencing either abolished or reduced is good for everybody, that's not voting away power. That's doing for the greater good of everyone. That's going to help white, black, and other, right?
Yeah, but in order for us to move forward, we need more. It's going to take more than just stopping just getting legislation to help us with injustice. You feel me? That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm explaining to you, is that there's more than just this. There's more than just these one or two things. There's so much more.
Exactly. And then it affects them on a whole higher level, bro. You feel me? It will affect their privilege. This is what I'm saying. That's why they don't want to relinquish that, because a lot of them feel like, bro, y'all want to take us to the socialist society, and they're not about to give that to where we spread around the wealth. They don't want to spread around that wealth, bro. I don't care how much they empathize with us.
But it's not always about spreading around wealth. It's not always.
But that's what it's going to come down to, bro. That's what it comes. This is what this society is about. This is a capitalist society, bro. So it's all about the power of the dollar.
So if I just need all the white people in my neighborhood to help with evidence-based recording becoming a requirement in our police force, where does that take away from their money?
Bro, that's what I'm saying. I agree with you there. But
right.
If we keep
more than that, there's other
saying it keeps going, and it keeps going.
Right.
You feel me? It keeps going. So them understanding our plight, you feel me? Like that's a human right, and aren't good enough for long term things. You feel me? And you know, okay, they voting. Oh, y'all going through this? We gonna vote in. What we're talking about, like, it's bigger than just the George Floyd.
Right.
You feel me? We're talking about systemic racism, privilege, setback, all of that.
Clint, that's another one. That's another one, Clint. Who understands systemic racism other than somebody who is either researched it, done, lived through it, or whatever the case may be. They don't understand. If they come from a point of
some people research and deny it,
to know it, and they need to understand where to get that information from. Why not make that available to them?
I didn't know about systemic racism until I was in the 30s.
Exactly, me either.
Okay, but I'm saying that even if they get that information, right, and we make them like, why are we so? They're not asking us to be sensitive to their plight. You think they don't have no plights? That's just what I'm saying. Black people the only one that's asking them to be sensitive and understand our plights. Like, nah, bro, they done showed us how many years we done been having the same conversation or get them to get them to understand. Trust me, our grandfathers and grandmothers, uncles, aunts, great uncles, great aunts had the same conversation, bro.
So what's your conversation? Just separate from them completely. That's what your solution is?
Y'all keep talking about separate. When I say focus on us, focusing on us is not separation. No, that's what you want it to sound like. Because not one time did the word separate come out my mouth. Did anybody hear me say separate?
It sounds like that's what it sounds like.
No, I mean, I'm telling you, focus on us and stop asking them to help us all the time. If we could focus on us and our agenda, you know what I mean? It's like if I get out of a bad relationship, if I get out of a bad relationship, before I jump in another relationship, you have to focus on you.
Oh no,
you have to make yourself better. So that's what we have to do. We've been in a battered relationship. You feel me? We've been battered. What we are experiencing, I see, is like what they call battered woman syndrome. You feel me? To where we feel like we still searching for their approval after they keep beating us. Like, nah, once you leave and get from under that situation, you have to heal first. You feel me? It's not nothing about separating or hate white people, don't come around us. Like, nah, let's focus on us and stop worrying about how they're going to help us. How are we going to help us? What
So-
are we going to do to help
so-
us? That's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
I ain't
so-
saying separate or none of that. Know what I mean? But when we were separate, that's when we experienced. That's when Black Wall Street. That's when they experienced their both growth. When they were separate. If you want to go there.
But look. If we're focusing on us, if we're doing what we need to do to understand our own plight better, as well as, like you said, get our agenda together, which I fully agree with. I 100% agree with. Why is it bad that they want to learn about us at the same time? That's what I'm trying to understand. Why I don't understand why that's a problem. Why
I didn't say I don't care if they want to learn. I'm talking.
He doesn't
about
want to teach.
us. You feel me? I'm talking about us. I don't care if they want to learn. Why are we so scared about teaching them?
Okay, so let's
You feel me? Like
let's backtrack. So you're not saying don't teach them. You're just saying you personally don't feel like being the one teaching. You don't care if the rest of us teach. It's all good.
I'm not wasting no energy. Y'all do if that's what y'all want to do. I'm not wasting no energy. You feel me? I'm just not wasting no energy on that. It's other battles that need to be fought before we even get to how we going to deal with them, how they should deal with us. We need to deal with worrying about us first. You feel me? Like we so bad and so much division among us that the Blackout Tuesday thing, I thought it was just about highlighting support Black folks. You feel me? And all this, and then it devolved into some they don't want you to don't do that. It's some sort of conspiracy for us to hide Black Lives Matter images and all that. My first thing was like, damn. Like, I mean, what happened to why are we so worried about that? Like, it was supposed to have been about us supporting us.
So
Can I tell you the truth? I didn't know about Blackout Tuesday. I went off Facebook and social media for a minute because it was just too much with all the all the stuff that we kept seeing.
right.
As far as everything. You didn't know who to believe, and especially mainstream media pointing out certain things and certain aspects of the protests, the violence, but they weren't showing everything. They're just showing their media horror, money getting, their ratings getting.
All right, one quick thing, David. Let me ask you this question. So what I meant by if they want to learn about us is there's a group of people out there that it's not about learning about us as Black people as like history or nothing like that. What I mean by that is there's a group of people out there who want to understand what that plight is that we have, or what issues that we've gone through, or what's behind our anger, our frustrations, and all the other things that are going on, but not just from police brutality, but from all kinds of different aspects. So that's why there's resources out there that they can use, such as different books about racial inequality, about racism in general, about systemic racism, about the byproducts of those things like mandatory sentencing rather. There's issues with the in that 13th documentary that was about the prison what is it called? Prison
industrial complex.
Prison industrial complex. So there's a lot of different aspects of things that they either don't know about or they don't understand, that this certain group of people want to understand better. And so they've asked the question, how can they help, or how can they understand better, or how can they get what resources do they need to use? And I think the main question was, what books should I read to understand this, or what articles should I read to understand that? And so there is a resource. It's actually in the comments. I'm going to post it to the description in these videos. There's a resource out there. You can Google it by going to 75 Things White, and you will see it in the list. It'll be 75 things white people can do for racial justice. And it's actually a good resource for all people, for Black, white, Asian, Latino, whoever. It's good for all of us, because there's information in there that we all can learn I mean, even as a Black person, if you're not seeing racism firsthand, if you don't understand what systemic racism is, or if you don't understand the prison industrial complex, things of that nature, there's a lot of resources in there that you can use in order to get better educated, for yourself, for your community, for your family, so on and so forth.
And I want to go back because the Farrakhan, that's not a Farrakhan thing. You feel me? That's Marcus Garvey. Somebody was Farrakhan. It is thunder, lightning, and thundering. Yeah. So y'all hear that in the background? It is going down.
I think we got lucky. It was the same thing here, but we didn't get it.
Yeah, hopefully the power don't go out. But it's not about being
the last time I got killed.
Yeah, it went out last night, but it came back on. But it's not about being like Farrakhan. Farrakhan preached self-care, but a lot of Black leaders and all of that preached that before him. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And after him, you feel me? You could talk about group economics. With that Brother Claude Anderson, stuff like that. So it's like, it ain't got nothing to do with. It's just about self-sufficiency. So that's all I'm saying. Yeah. Like Black people have to be more self-sufficient because we give them too much power. Like I see that. Yeah, I don't agree with that at all. You feel me? Like that's giving white people. I'm sorry, Shan, but that's giving white people way too much credit. Like that's giving white people way too much credit and way too much power. You feel me? Like just like somebody was like they call the white man the devil. I don't call the white man the devil because that's giving them too much power. Yeah, that's giving them too much power. You feel me? That's like making him a god over you. You feel me? So we got that's all I'm saying. Know what I mean? Like let's take some of that power back. We keep talking about being strong. We strong. Let's take some of our power back by just doing for self. That's all I'm saying. You feel me? You don't got to separate. Like I said, you can do business with your enemy all day. You know what I mean? As long as it's peace, but we can do business all day. I ain't gotta like you to do business. Are you serious?
Right. Yeah, money's still green no matter where it's coming from.
Exactly. Business is business. You feel me? As long as you ain't being disrespectful, I'm not being disrespectful. It is what it is.
I had a question about that though, Clint. I have a friend of mine I grew up with on Facebook. When all the police start marching with everybody, he says, F the 12. Don't let them join in on our marches. What do you think about that?
I mean, that's why I don't let them join in our marches. I mean,
yeah, Kiki Palmer did the same thing. She tried to get the military to march with her.
Yeah,
I seen the Kiki Palmer. Kiki Palmer did. I seen.
At the end of the day, that's false. So they still got that's their job. Mm-hmm. You feel me? That's their job. So you gonna ask them like when they sign up for that job and they apply for that job and they take that oath, they know what they signing up for. Mm-hmm. You feel me? Mm-hmm. They know what they signing up for. So when you asking them to march with you, now that's got to go against what they signed up for and against them feeding their family.
Yeah.
You feel me? So that like you want them to march with you, and then what them marching with you, okay, you march with us. Is that still gonna stop you from abusing us? If late night, forget everything that's being recorded. Late night you pull me over, you feel me, and you having a bad day and you want to feel like abusing your authority over me, then what? Because we keep talking about white people. Like I said on this thing plenty of times, I've had issues with Black and Spanish, more issues with Black and Spanish cops than white cops.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah,
that's true.
I don't even, when we talk about this conversation, I don't even like to talk about just race. Mm-hmm. You feel me? Because it's bigger than race. Even though race plays a bigger part of it, but it's bigger than race. When you talk about the police, you feel me? Some of my worst experiences have been with Black cops.
Mine Hispanic.
Yeah. I'm actually going to bring that up later in the show, Clint, because we definitely got to talk about a past topic that we had, minorities as authorities. We got to talk about that.
Oh yes. So
I want to talk about that. Let's give it a few minutes. I want to try to get to these comments real quick. So we talked about Shan's comment. My point of Shan's comment is kind of pretty much in line with yours. That's the same point as yours, Clint. Is that I don't believe we should give them fully that all that power. In that the fact that we do have the ability to lead this charge, to lead this protest on our own, and make the impact that's needed. I think from a in my mind, from a voting standpoint, we need more than just us. But the thing is that if we don't take the lead, they're going to run with their own agenda. So I definitely agree to your point, Clinton, that we do have to take some of that power because we need to make them understand that it's our agenda, it's our issue,
exactly,
fight that needs to be fought, not theirs. So, and a great example of that was a young man here in Detroit, Greystone. I can't remember his last name, but his name is Greystone on Instagram. Greystone was doing was a part of a protest where they were walking from downtown Detroit, and I think they were heading. I'm getting a lot of background. There is a lot of what they call it. People they were walking. They were trying to walk from downtown to out of the city of Detroit, and it was mainly because curfew was occurring, and they had what they call police commanders that were like tagging along. And so during the time of the curfew, they were telling the police commanders, "Hey, we're going to walk out the city. Please don't arrest us. Please don't converge on us." And the commander agreed. But all of a sudden, white protesters in the middle of that started screaming out, hell no, we won't go, and stop the protest in its tracks, even though they weren't the real leaders of the protest, as well as there were so many blacks in that protest that were trying to get out of the city in order to proceed. And they ended up, because those white protesters pushed back, as well as were making that big, announcement that they weren't leaving the city. The cops ended up having to converge on the group and arrested 250 people. And he, his comments were that, and I agree with him, is that, they took over because the leaders of the protest allowed those other people, those outsiders, to take over that protest and create this chaos where they ended up getting trapped in the city and getting arrested for curfew violations. So once again, we have to be the leaders of this revolution if we want it to be about us. We can't let them be the sole handlers of this. We can't, it's one like I don't mind asking for allies, but our ally does not lead. Your ally can't lead you out of your oppression. He can't, because they, like I said, they're gonna hijack it one way or another for their own benefit, or like can't put it. They may even not want to relinquish some of their power, and then now they're sidetracking some of the things that you need done. There's a lot that goes on there, so we have to be careful about that.
And T said it's news to her about Black and Latino cops. If you heard,
that's very
good. Just go look up Freddie Gray. Go look at the officers who killed Freddie Gray in Baltimore. You feel me? Those wasn't white cops. Those was black cops. Mm-hmm. You feel me? And it ain't just men. It'd be female cops too.
Yeah.
You feel me?
One of the cops that had me hemmed up was a female cop, and all of the cops were black.
Yeah. You feel me? I remember one time it was a corner store right by my house. I stopped at the corner store as a park. So I hop out, my friend's in the park. I went to go dap up my friend. Before I go into the store, the cops riding up. So as I'm walking back out the park to go to the store, they hop out, throw me on my car, throw me on my Jeep, go on my Jeep, I had a Jeep Cherokee. I'll never forget this. Black cop. The black cop he asked me my name. He called me all types of names. The white cop calm. Black cop going through my car, pop out my speakers, flip out my seat, toss everything out my trunk. You feel me? It took a neighbor to come up to say something before he calmed down after they ran my name. I had no warrants, none of that. He just did it because he wanted to do it. You feel me? And the white cop was cool. So like a lot of
It's just crazy.
There you go. All right.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh no, yeah, muted yourself for a second there.
I had muted myself?
Yeah, just for a second.
My bad.
Yeah, we didn't hear your last sentence. We didn't hear it.
Oh yeah, no, I was just saying. Most of my issues been with Black and Latino cops.
Yeah,
you feel me?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, like, it's a huge problem that we see in a lot of minority cities where
some of them power trip.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Thank you, Sonny. That's
they be on that. Yes, I've had a couple running with the police. Some my own doing. But even in the state of me causing them to be there, sometimes with the people that look just like me, that's why we got the all skin folk and kin folk, and that shit is real because some of them don't really. It's not a black and white thing. It's a blue versus everybody situation. And then they got power tripping because they got that badge. They feel like they got an extra power over you, so they be above and beyond now. But for me, I've had run-ins with both white and black and or Latino cops, and had different things, issues happening. So yes, it's very like, and I thought that's why I say to people like, we talked about it on the show 50 million times about how cops are abusing their power with not just only black people too, but it's just the disregard to them killing a black person and just getting away scot-free, and saying they feel threatened with us versus everyone else. I think that's, or maybe if I'm misspeaking, I feel like that's more of the issue. So it's a with us, they feel threatened by anything we do. Whereas if Tom's talking shit and going off and stuff like that, he may or may not get smacked up. Or we look at situations like Dylan Ruth. He walked into a church and killed mad people, and they took this nigga to get something to eat. Like everything was fine. Like, that's crazy. If that had been a black person, they might not have made it out there. So we look at stuff like that. Like, that's the imbalance of Dylan Ruth versus any other black person in a situation, whether it's nonviolent or a violent situation. And it goes back to their training. They're trained to, like, the military is held at a higher standard than the actual police. The military shoot without rhyme or reason, they're getting court-martialed. Whereas the police shoot and their life is in danger because of the skin tone of the person. So, you know.
Right. So, to your point, did you just switch over? I switched over to Facebook. To your point, T, is that it is a problem of the police brutality, and not that they're racist, but it's a level of prejudice involved, right? Because even when it's a black cop, a lot of times they may still act in the same way that a white cop would in terms of your race. You know, they may treat you differently because you're black, you know, treat you with more aggression, treat you lesser than when they would deal with
all crazy.
A white constituent, someone who's white in their neighborhoods, or maybe not even in their neighborhoods, you know, an outsider, right? You know, looking at it from a socioeconomic status, you know, it could be a problem of them treating people that have, you know, a higher social economic status with more respect. I mean, we see that in a lot of things where, you know, people get treated better just because they may have more money, or they may look like they have more money or more prestige. I remember there was a case of a guy that went, I don't know if he went to a restaurant or into a store, and he was treated like he had nothing, right? You know, basically because of the way he was dressed, they treated him like crap, and the police came and took him out the store and all this other stuff. They was hitting him with loitering. The guy was a millionaire. He just chose to dress that way. He just chose to dress lowly. He didn't see the benefit of having, you know, Gabardine or whatever, Dolce Gabbana and all the other extra stuff. He didn't see the point of that. His thing was, he just wanted to go in there and get something or whatever the case may be, and they treated him like crap because of what appeared to be his social economic status. So there's and that guy, I think he was white too, on top of that. So that's the thing, is that a lot of this can sometimes stem from not just racism. Like Clint said, it's not always a race thing. Sometimes it could just be a power trip, or like you said, a self-hate situation. It could be just, cops just being cops, right? Just drunk off of power.
Yeah, that's what it be sometimes. You feel me? A lot of them just be drunk off power. You feel me? When you get that badge and you get that gun, I've literally had a conversation with a police officer, a black police officer. You feel me? And I told this story on here before. You know what I mean? When he was doing security at one of my jobs, working at the library. And he literally told me that he couldn't wait till he's in a position to kill somebody. Wow. You feel me? He couldn't wait till he get into the position to shoot somebody. And guess what? He actually ended up killing somebody a couple years later after he just said that.
Wow.
You know what I mean? He couldn't wait to use his gun. He couldn't wait for any do. You know what I mean? They waiting for somebody to put themselves in a position for them to use their gun. Mm-hmm. You understand? Like, so, like it gets deeper than race.
Right.
It gets deeper than race. Now, race has a lot to do with it. Where like Willie said, to where they'll see us, a black person, to see another black person, and he'll know a black cop will see a black individual, and he know. You feel me? We're already looked down upon, so he'll treat us worse than what he'll treat somebody, a white person or a Spanish person, he'll pull over, because he know he can get away with more with us. You feel me? He can get away with it. You feel me? That's just what it is.
Exactly.
Sometimes with Hispanic people too, because they say stuff like go back to where you came from and stuff like that, not knowing that they may be American born, and you tell them to go where they came from just because they could,
like what,
so.
Yeah, I want to get back to this one question that T had earlier, was why did so many whites vote for Obama? I mean, we can speculate all we want. My speculation is there was a lot of self-guilt involved there. There was a lot of trying to jump on a bandwagon. I think two things happened in the voting in the last 8 to 16 years, or 8 to 12 years rather. The first election of Obama, I believe, and as well as this election of Trump, I believe both times people made the mistake of jumping on a bandwagon. Mm-hmm. Both times, where they felt like this seems like the cool thing to do, and it backfired on them, because a lot of people that voted for Obama, not a vast majority or nothing, but there was a large group of people who said they did not really think he would win. They just voted because they just wanted to people
forget how bad Bush was.
And then you had the same thing with Trump, where a lot of people were like, well, I didn't want to vote for Hillary, and I didn't think Trump would be that bad. And then they turn around later and go, damn, I didn't realize it was going to be this bad. So I think the same scenario happened. Now, why did he get in the second time? I just think it was just he had no good competition. Whatever was going on with the Republican Party at the time, there was just no way they was going to win, right? So, and that's the fear I have with this next election. Do we really have a lot of confidence that Joe Biden is really going to win, or anybody else that you throw at Trump at this time, when this society that supports him, and these people that support him are so loud and irreverent, where they just don't care? You know what I mean? They've been waiting on a president. We've had racist presidents for centuries, right? The problem is we've never had a president so vocally and outspokenly racist in over maybe 100-something years, maybe more, right? So to have someone that is this blatantly loud and over the top, people eat that up. They're eating it up. Obviously, he goes to every rally and he's got thousands. He's also the only president I know of that has rallies and is not even it's like retarded stuff like that. But anyway, he's doing stuff that people are eating up and they love it. I mean, you talk to some of these Trump supporters, they have no reason why they really support him. It probably even goes all against their social status, their economic status, their racial status, their moral status. I know people who are heavy in church that support Trump. How do you love God and love Trump at the same time? I think because he's obviously crooked. He's obviously a racist. He's obvious. And he's got charges of being a rapist. He's admitted to sexually harassing as well as sexually assaulting women. He's admitted to sexually harassing and being a pedophile. He's admitted to this. And people still love him because of him.
I just want to say this before I log off to answer her question. I think people forget how bad Bush was. You feel me? And how bad the Republican Party had failed. You feel me? Like they was at their low point. You forget people were dying. Soldiers were dying. The American public, you feel me, was tired of that war. And it was a drain on the economy. So like they was just when Obama came with the change, everybody was ready for a change. You feel me? Because that man was in there for 8 years, Bush. And we went from all the way up here to all the way down here. We lost so many freedoms within that period of time. I think people forget that. That's why, a lot of people voted for Obama. And then, like the brother Willie just said, that second election, he ain't really had no competition. Was it John McCain, I believe?
Yeah.
Like that really wasn't no competition for him. And with Trump, I think people really underestimate Al Gore. I think people really underestimate
the internet god.
How many white people are in this country. First of all, and they underestimate how many people like really feel like Trump feels. Mm-hmm. You feel me? I think we really underestimate that. I think, I agree with you. Like some people voted for Trump just because they hated Obama. I keep telling Trump is the result of Obama. Like don't white people
exactly.
Like I said this with because when we was doing the show before the election, I was telling everybody, I was like, y'all underestimate how mad them white folks is at us. When Obama got elected, we was basically telling all these white people to kiss our ass for 8 years. Black people was telling white people to kiss their ass. We got a black president. We here. All this going to change. And they was just sitting there like, all right. All right.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then here come Trump. Trump, like people forget, Trump came in like, man, I ain't no Republican or no Democrat. Mm-hmm. You feel me? I came to drudge the lake. You feel me? And that all them people, they was like, yeah, because the Republicans had let them down.
Right.
The Republicans had let them down. So then as the process went along, he realized that the Republicans didn't want Hillary in there. You feel me? Right. And they realized the only chance they can get to win was to put Trump, because Trump following got so big because people underestimated how many people in these rural countries and these that sat quiet for so long and hate black people. You feel me?
Right.
And was ready to go out there and support him. And not just hate black people, hate the government.
Hate the government.
Yeah,
exactly.
Hate the government, because that was one of his main running points too. Was like, nah, I'm not a politician.
That was also being one of the first independents to win as well.
Yeah, he could have won as an independent.
Yeah,
he really could have won as an independent. He told them, I don't need y'all. Don't get it twisted.
Right.
He told the Republican Party, like, I don't need y'all like y'all think. Y'all need me. Understand that. You feel me? So
you know what I mean, all this white people voted for like people forget how bad Bush was. I think people really forgot how bad Bush was.
True.
You know what I mean? Trump has nothing. Like people don't like talking about, you know what I mean, they don't like Trump a racist and all that. But his policies hasn't really done anything bad to black people. Like really hurt black people. When you go look at it, you feel me? That's something y'all really need to look at. You feel me? Y'all keep calling that man. Go look at his pot and ask yourself. You gonna be looking at it like, know what I mean? Like he did some stuff to help some black folk. You know what I mean? He did some stuff to help some black folk.
Uh-oh. looks like KT disagrees.
All right, go look it up. I'm about to get off of here though, but I gotta go. I gotta go.
I feel you. I wanted to we understand. No, we got you, Kay. We got you. I wanted to touch on this real quick. This comment about this Professor McHorter or whatever his name is. He put out this video or this controversial thing where he was saying about the whole thinking that, you know, police killing more whites than blacks. The thing is, what we have to remember is this. There's only, well, I keep hearing different numbers. I hear 13% and 17%. There's roughly 15% black people in this country. There's 76% white people. Do the math. Stop using stark numbers, black and white numbers, to make comparisons. You can't say 450 white people died during the same time 250 black people died and call it even. You know, right. It doesn't work that way. You know, that there's a numbers game there, people. You got to remember that. There's more than just you. There's more than just your community. There's more than just your city. There's a whole country out here that's being affected. And you got to think, we don't even spread across the entire country. The vast majority of us live only in larger metropolitan cities, and you still have this disproportionate killing of black people. It's disproportionate. That's the problem. It's not about we're the only ones getting killed. That's not our problem. That's not the issue. We never said that. We never said we're the only ones getting affected by police brutality either. No black person has ever said that. If they did, they lied. Is we're getting disproportionately affected by this. Look at the prison system, right? I think you might know the numbers, Clint. I don't know the numbers, but the prison system is a stark reality we have to face of how disproportionate the inmate makeup is, the demographics of the inmate.
I forget the amount of percentages, but I know it's more black people in jail than any other race.
Exactly, way like disproportionately more. Like I want to say it's literally like a 60-40 when it comes.
Half them haven't even been convicted, but I'm just gonna let that go. Half them haven't even been convicted. They still just arrested off of an indictment and have not been convicted. They just sitting there hanging out waiting to go for their court date. So, sorry, this one's stalking me.
No, he can't be taking the percentage into account, Kay. It won't add up. You can, a percentage, what we're talking about is from a percentage of this. It was a young lady who had this video out on IG, and she broke the statistics down. I believe she made the comment, or her mother made the comment, that there's 450 whites that were killed by cops versus 250 blacks. It wasn't that exact number, but give or take, you can find the video. It's on my story in IG and on Facebook Messenger. So the thing is this: if you take that as a percentage when it comes to the number of total police killings, it worked out to be something like 24 or 25% of the killings were black people. When we're only 13% of the population, how are we 25% of the killing?
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. That does not equate. It doesn't equate. You should not be a percentage of a population and then have a disproportionate percentage of the wrongdoing being done to you. That doesn't add up. It doesn't equate. There's a problem there. That's why it becomes a stark reality that there's a problem. That's what we mean by we need them to realize that they're doing wrong. And then on top of the fact that you have like them having a 76% percent of the population, but then the number of deaths by police is like 40%. You know what I mean? Or 50%.
I'm about to
so it
all
just
right.
add up. So, what was that, Clint? I'm sorry.
At the end of 2017, federal and state prisons in the United States held about 475,900 inmates. You hear me?
Mm-hmm.
No, a different who were black, and 436,500 who were white. A difference of 39,400.
Wow.
Now, I know people may sit in there like, okay, yeah, well, it may be just as many, it's almost just as many white people in prison as black people because the numbers are that close, right? But like Willie just said, we are 13 to 15 to 17% of the population. You feel me? And we lead the number one race in prison. You know what I mean? The number one race in America is white people. So obviously they're going to be right behind us as far as number of people, but the percentages is way off. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? The percentages is way off. So it's like it's crazy. Like how come you trying to tell me we that much more of a criminal than them?
Right.
Like nah. You feel me? Like we could just look in our community. That's basically saying like that's why they say all of us is wild animals, because they just look at that number when you look in the prisons, who the only people in there? Right. Who the main people you see in there? Mm-hmm. The main race is us. You feel me? So that's when it's bigger than just police brutality and all of that. You know what I mean? It's like we gotta get some sentences, all of that got to start being equal and fair.
Yeah, very.
All right, y'all. I'm about to get up out of here.
Leaving us, Clint. You out of here? All right. Yeah. Let me pop up your promo. Go ahead and.
Yeah. Exactly. Michelle Alexander book. Go get that. The Mass Incarceration. You feel me? That's a good book if anybody want to know about the industrial prison complex. Well, y'all know where y'all could reach me on my blog at akingstruth.com. I'm on Instagram at akingstruth609 and on Twitter at eTrentonGroomy. You feel me? So hit me up anytime. It's called Mass Incarceration. It's Michelle Alexander. Put the book up there, Willie, for.
What was it called? Mass Incarceration by Michelle?
Michelle Alexander.
Michelle Alexander. All right.
Yeah, Mass Incarceration. That's the perfect book. He about to put it up there for you, T. He about to put it right on up there. Yeah. What'd you say, bro?
Is it the one, the new Jim Crow, Mass Incarceration?
Yeah, the new Jim Crow. Yep, exactly. You know what I mean? Just like you talk about, T, is slave labor. That's basically what she you know what I mean? Yep.
That's the book right there.
Yep, the new Jim Crow. It's a wonderful book. It's a wonderful book.
Post the link in the comments as well for everyone to grab.
All right, y'all. Much love, respect, peace, and prosperity.
Appreciate you, bro.
And I catch y'all Monday.
Yeah. I think I'm about to wrap it because I need to take my ass to bed. I'm fighting to stay woke.
Trying to think was if there was anything else I wanted to get you on before you walked out the door.
Yeah.
Honey D. And we pretty much just talked about this. It was definitely all protests, all
yeah, but that's what we need to talk about though. It's a protest. It's a protest. I posted it on my Facebook page for those who live in Trenton. or the surrounding areas. There is a protest. Well, not a protest. It's a rally. I guess it's like a rally / protest. Sunday. At City Hall. My daughter's making more posters. She will be selling them because people liked her posters, drawing them freehand. So we're gonna be out there to listen to the speech and see what they say.
I wanna speak on a comment from Javier real quick. Dang, I think I lost it. Where did it go?
My daughter went to while he's doing that. My daughter went to a protest in Trenton last weekend. And did she went. Her, my niece and nephew went with my sister. They had a really interesting time there. Once it started getting out of hand, they left, thankfully, and then it went to full blown riot. So I'm not familiar with if you've been catching up, but Trenton had after the peaceful protest, he had a couple people rioters. Contrary to popular belief, and I posted this because I need people to, because everybody's always talking smack about Trenton. Trenton people don't take care of their shit. It's always something they talk bad about us because we're the capital of New Jersey. And this guy from South Plainfield decided to come to the protest, and a lot of people were like, Trenton people tearing up their shit, and some of it was Trenton people, some of it wasn't. And this, it got set off with a bunch of craziness, and then this white guy from South Plainfield decided to set a police car on fire, and then after that happened, everything else went all over the place. It got worse. So it's just I feel like if people want to protest, that's fine. My daughter wanted to go. I'm glad she experienced that. I'm glad she knew why she was going. She understood, or the kids understood why they were going. They wanted to be a part of that and stuff like that. But that's the thing. People always assume that Trenton is the worst place, and forgetting that a lot of people that for that protest were not Trentonians. So they came from all over, and it wasn't Trentonians it wasn't all Trentonians that rioted. And it's just sad that we're looked so down upon. And I just let people know. I was like, well, this is the person that did this. Yeah, it was some Trentonians that were part of the riot situation, but that doesn't equate to everybody in Trenton being a piece of shit or being, as they tear us down and say we're such a hood, we're in this neighborhood, and just bad things about us in general. We're in the hood, we don't appreciate what we have, all that miscellaneous stuff. And as a homeowner, I feel like I bought a house in Trenton for a reason. And I saw what my community, like, we had a thing that we said, I'm so Trenton because I am. And I'm proud of where I come from. And I know that everybody in Trenton is not the problem that's in Trenton. It is a problem in Trenton. It needs to be rectified, but it's not everybody. A lot of us want change, and we're looking for those changes, be it programs that we used to have when we were growing up that these kids don't have anymore and stuff like that, because a lot of the looters were younger kids. Some of them were adults, older than me and everything like that, because they don't know no better and they just got childlike mind. And at the same time, like Clinton said, I get it, because when enough is enough, enough is enough. So people do drastic things to get people's attention. It sucks because a lot of businesses were hurt. I know a lot of people say, what are those businesses doing for the Trenton community? A lot of them don't really help within the community. Just people that don't live in Trenton that have businesses in Trenton and gaining money off of us, but don't really help us. I get that point too, but I just feel like when you do things like that, it take away from the positive part of the aspect of it. Like, it started off as a peaceful protest, and once that goes on, everybody forgets about the peaceful protest. They just center around the rioting. So I think that's the problem I have. It loses the significance that it had before all hell broke loose. So
right.
They're having another rally or peace rally on Sunday. Hopefully that goes well. Our curfew has been bumped up, and hopefully that this Sunday goes well. But if it gets out of hand, me and my kids will be exiting stage left and, going home where we're safe, because I don't want those problems. As Black people, we can't afford confrontation with the police. So,
yeah. All right. So I wanted to touch on this comment Javier made earlier. Shout out to Javier. He's been another one of our avid supporters.
Shout out to Javier.
Yeah, always on the show, commenting, liking. Make sure y'all like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. a lot of you are Facebook followers, but definitely like and subscribe on our YouTube as well.
Yeah.
We actually need to get to 100 subscribers so that we can get our URL fixed because right now it's a little too long. But anyway, Javier made the comment earlier about this is last part got me when he said, so when all this happened, what happened to coronavirus? So, shout out to everybody who's made that comment in the last week. And I saw a meme somewhere that said, who would have guessed the cure for coronavirus was a riot? So, I think, not to be, making fun of the situation, but just basically, it's all about media, distractions, redirection, money, right? The big story of 2020 has been coronavirus, right? Before all of this happened, that's what I mean. Before all this happened was coronavirus, it was murder hornets, it was UFOs. We had a lot of big stories. But coronavirus is definitely one of the biggest stories. So when you have something that overruns it in not only popularity, but also impact, all these protests, all these, civil unrest, all these different things, these different aspects of life in the United States have changed the narrative and changed the media focus. And it's made it more prevalent that they report on and focus on the protests, the riots, everything else that's going on. So I think we have to keep that in mind. Coronavirus hasn't gone anywhere. Actually, if you check, coronavirus is on the rise. There's a lot of states that are seeing improvements in their new cases, their daily new cases. They've definitely seen an improvement in their daily deaths going down. But you see that there's like 12 to 14 states that are now seeing skyrocketed numbers. California being one of them, where their new daily cases have reached the 500, 600, 700 new cases a day, or even I think in California they're up to 1,200 to 1,500 cases per day now. It's just increased. So and then up in the in the New England area, Massachusetts has seen a skyrocket in their numbers. Down in, I think in Texas, they've seen a skyrocket in their numbers where it's just gotten worse. So definitely coronavirus hasn't gone anywhere. It's just not being reported on. It's one of those things where, it's definitely out there waiting on us. It's definitely out there waiting on us. And yeah, you're right, Tanisha. It's definitely still there. People are still dying. People are still getting affected by this. States are opening up. Here in Michigan, we have several directives and orders that affect everything from what industries can start up, how we can work, as well as if we can leave and go out of the house and all that kind of thing. I believe this week they've lifted the stay-at-home order, either this week or it starts next week, as well as there's several businesses, there's types of businesses that can be reopened, but we have seen a steady decline in our new case numbers. So that's the reason why we call her Big Gretch here in Michigan. Our governor, Gretchen Whitmer, has decided to reopen most of the industries. There's still a few industries that are not allowed to be open. Unfortunately, she stepped on some toes. I mean, my daughter is a salon owner, as well as a few of my friends are salon and barbershop owners. So she steps on some of those toes when she told the general public they could Google how to get a haircut. Yeah, don't Google how to get a haircut. Don't do it. Wait for your salons to reopen, please. Don't Google how to do your own pedicure. I've been seeing some of y'all out there doing manicures and pedicures. They're trash. Stop doing it. Just wait. So it's
it's just me.
I think it's movie theaters, salons, casinos, stuff like that are still not allowed to be open. So you have that, but then a lot of the stores are allowed. The dining, you can dine in now again. There's social distancing requirements for that, and there's other ways. But then there's also about being, like Tanisha just said, be safe. You got to be safe out here. If you're not comfortable going back to work, let your company know. Some companies are allowing people to remain working from home. Other companies are extending the amount of time people have to come back to work, as well as there are certain companies that have refused to still open, even though the ban is lifted on their industry because they don't feel it's safe enough for their employees or their clients to do business. So you see a lot of, shout out to them for making that sacrifice, sacrificing finances for the greater good of health. So thank you, Kay. It's as of the 8th. It was originally supposed to be the 12th because she had kept extending it till the 12th, but then she pulled it back. So as of the 8th, we can now go outside. Yay. I'm not outside.
Ours is still very much.
Yeah, you guys are still one of the top states, right? Yeah, case wise. So, but I think I don't think you're no longer think you're on the rise numbers. I think your state is now in in the middle of so definitely coronavirus is still here. Be safe out there, be careful.
Hey Milton.
What up, though? Thanks for joining. Anything else you want to kick it about before you doze off? Because like you okay, whatever that meant, but okay. This is actually live. Yes, it is, Milton.
Yes, it is. I'm yawning live on air.
Comment up there. Hello again.
Yeah, I look a mess, Milton, but we're live. Don't.
Right. So yeah, actually I think we're about to wrap up, unfortunately, because I'm about to lose my co-host, and I'm not fully equipped to take on all the questions on my own. But I'm more than welcome.
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I have to work in the morning.
Yeah, I'm more than happy to stay on and answer questions, talk about different comments and different. It's okay, man. You can always replay the show as well, but definitely
you can replay it.
If you have some questions that you want to ask, if you want me to rehash some things that we talked about earlier, we talked about everything from the protests to the social unrest to systemic racism, what people can do to help, all that kind of stuff. We talked about a lot of different things. Definitely I'm more than willing to stay on.
Yes,
we've done these lives to as late as 2 a.m.
So come back Monday. We'll be here Monday.
Yeah, we'll be here Monday as well, 10 p.m.
Monday at 10 p.m.
Every
live
Monday.
Again.
Yeah, every Monday and Thursday we're here at 10 p.m.
Yeah, so if you haven't already, liked the Facebook page and subscribe to our YouTube channel. I apologize, guys. Usually I would stay on, but unfortunately I work in HR and it is payroll closing. I make sure people get paid on properly and on time. And I have to be alert and awake with 3,000 employees. So I have to be very functioning in there. So I apologize. I would normally stay on.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, sleep is very, very important.
Definitely join us on either Facebook or on YouTube. We simulcast these episodes as well as replay them. We have on-demand free past episodes on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Stitcher. So all the audio that you hear on our Monday shows is on our podcast channels, Blog Talk Radio, SoundCloud, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Google Play Music, Apple iTunes. So definitely check those out on there. Facebook and YouTube will have all of our old audio. We used to just do audio, but now we do audio now we do video, and we take and strip the audio out and drop it on those other channels. Definitely check us out every week. Monday shows are replayed. These social distancing and chill shows are only on Facebook and YouTube. So if you ever want to rewatch, and look out for some clips, we're going to do bites of content. That way you can kind of see some of the things that were talked about without watching the entire show.
Oh yeah, I'm so gonna mess that name up. But Mr. Hamilton,
3.5 hours, 4 hours. So definitely.
Yes, this is the buzz, and we did have an intellectual. I'm tired. I know I'm tired. I can't even say it. We had a great chat. You got to catch the playback because we're about to wrap. Definitely tune in on Monday at 10 p.m. on Facebook and or YouTube.
Okay.
Good night. And listen to the shows there. Oh, we got people just showing up. Now I feel bad because I'm tired.
I know, everybody's showing up now.
Oh my God, y'all. Like if I wasn't tired, I would definitely stay on with Willie right now. But like I'm tired. My laptop about to die. I can see right now I got 24 work emails currently. I'm not even at work tomorrow.
Right.
It's at the bottom of my screen. I'm not even on my work laptop. This is terrible. I got 24, so I can imagine when I wake up tomorrow morning. It's going to be very, very terrible.
Yeah.
But
I am. You guys also visit our website, gftradioshow.com. Check out our social media sites. We're at GFT_radio on Twitter and on Instagram. We're GFT Radio on Facebook. So definitely check us out there. Sunny, go ahead and give your information out.
All right, guys. So you can reach me at IamSunny_D. Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, and TikTok. For those who like to follow me on my crazy TikTok things, go ahead and follow that. Go to my blog site, unreservedlyme.com. I actually had to update my little quarantine chronicles, mom chronicles, because I started it about a week or two ago, and I just did like a video talking about what's going on with me during quarantine and how am I not killing my kids because they're stressing me out and working all that jazz. So go ahead and check that out. But thank you guys for tuning in, and see you guys on Monday.
No doubt. All right, I am Willie Styles, so definitely check me out at Willie Styles everywhere. I'm on IG, Twitter, TikTok as at Willie Styles. I'm on Snapchat as Willie.Styles. I don't post on Snapchat, so I will follow you. I'll watch, see what you post. But you won't catch me there really.
Right.
I just stalk only. Yeah. I'm also at stylesradio.com. Definitely check out stylesradio.com. That's where you'll catch all the hot tracks that I'm listening to on a daily basis. Anything new that I discover music-wise, I listen to all types of music, mainly hip-hop, mainly R&B, rap, that kind of thing. But I also listen to pop music. I listen to country music. I listen to everything. So definitely check out stylesradio.com. You want to hear all the latest and hottest music out there, or get at me at williestyles.info. All my links are there, all my socials, anything you need to know about Willie Styles and the movement, I'm over there. All right. So definitely at williestyles.info. It's a movement. Shoot, people love me.
I definitely think I like that, because the music, music is everything. And
yes, music is therapy.
Yeah.
And as always, like I got the shirt on. The thing is,
yes, go to Teespring. I am waiting on my merch.
Yeah, make sure y'all check out the merch.
On the way.
We got t-shirts, hoodies,
pillows,
mugs, all kinds of stuff. Yep.
All that. I think I'm gonna add something else to the. I'm waiting for them to add facial masks, because I already got my own. It's somewhere around here. I wore it last show because I had to be extra. Yes, I was in the house with my mask on because I was branding. But yeah, definitely thank y'all for tuning in tonight. Thank you, new friend. Like I said, like and subscribe to the Facebook page and our YouTube.
It's Styles with a Z. Willie Styles with a Z. Make sure you get at me at Willie Styles with a Z. Appreciate y'all. So yeah, definitely check us out. And Monday, we'll see y'all on Monday, 10 p.m. Eastern time. And until then, be good, stay safe, stay out of coronavirus's way. Avoid all.
Okay, I'm trying to see if our site makes those face masks. I got one made by somebody in my great city of Trenton. Somebody made one for me. They actually made me two, so I had two. But I'm trying to see if our site that I have our merch on does have it. If they do have it, I will be putting it out there, and I will be promoting it. I'm waiting. I think I got to check it, because I don't know if they update any new ideas, stuff that we can make. But once we do, maybe we'll give one away, because I got an extra one. Maybe we'll do a giveaway.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll do a giveaway, and I'll give away the mask that I bought.
Yeah, make sure y'all come back Monday or Thursday. We'll definitely talk about the giveaway. We're definitely gonna do that.
Yeah, we'll have a conversation on the flip side, and then we'll bring it to y'all Monday about a possible giveaway and who can win that mask that I just got.
Yep, no doubt.
Do that. Yep.
All right, for sure.
All right, guys.
Make sure y'all come back. Appreciate y'all. Thanks for joining in. This has been GFT Radio Show. Get at us. Catch y'all.
Bye.
Peace.